Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Belgrade on a Saturday morning. Quite empty streets. 8 o'clock. Slightly past 8 o'clock. To my big surprise. As you see, the thing that I was also mentioning the other day, a lot of construction taking place currently in Belgrade. This whole area surrounded by these green covers will be converted into the building that you can see on the plate, the orange plate close to the road sign. So every 50 to 100 meters there is a location like that. The conversion of old houses into quite large buildings like that one that just emerged over the past couple of months. A few days ago I was also trying to explain what is the source of demand for this type of, for purchasing this type of apartments, essentially residential, okay, with some commercial space, of course, in the ground floor. But whether there is really demand of that size, according to some experts, this is only a part of the actual demand. Smaller part, so that they cannot supply sufficiently, the new constructions, because apparently the large residential projects are missing, as the ones that were undertaken in the 70s and the 80s here in ex-Yugoslavia. Most of the skyscrapers that you can see in Belgrade were built in that period, and they are rather distinctive from the, logically, from the modern construction houses, like the ones you can see in front of us at the other side of the highway. This is a typical example. That one's the skyscrapers next to the football stadium. Practically they are just in between the two football stadiums, the Partizan and the Red Star football stadium. It will be according to the weather forecast, will be a cloudy day in Belgrade. As you can also see from, there is a saying actually in Serbia that says you can judge the day by the morning. Po jutru se dan poznaje. I'm not sure whether I translated it really properly, but I tried at least. So in Serbia it is the case usually, in most of time. However, I've been to some other parts of the world where this rule is not applicable at all. The morning would be something, and then the rest of the day or the afternoon completely different. Meaning either very rainy or whatever. Here, if the morning is okay, there are, I would say, 80% chances that the rest of the day will be better. That will be okay as well. Okay, pleasant, no rain, etc., etc. Not always the case. Now we just passed the roundabout at Autokomanda. We'll be taking a left turn. So we are practically now at Vojvode Stepe Street, but yeah, there was an option also to continue Vojvode Stepe, up, going deeper into Voždovac, but I oftentimes take this street here. The other day I was mentioning that there was a beginning of you see some more constructions taking place here in this area. The Kumanovska battle at the Balkan War First Balkan War. The battle near Kumanovo, where Serbian army has defeated heavily the Ottoman army, and that was the road to the liberation of Serbia from the Ottoman Empire, the occupation that lasted almost 5 centuries. There was one forgotten hero in this battle from the Serbian side, the gypsy from Leskovac called Ahmed Ademovic. What he did, he was practically a trumpet player, as probably you know. There are a lot of, I also talked about it in one of my videos. There are 2 distinctive schools of trumpet playing in Serbia, one in southern Serbia and one in western Serbia, and they compete. Their final competition is at the Guča trumpet festival, the famous Guča at Dragačevo. So this guy was a trumpet player, and what he did, he took a uniform of a dead Ottoman soldier, put it on, including the fez, the distinctive red hat, and went into behind the enemy lines. And then on his trumpet, he played the withdrawals code of the Ottomans that was apparently known to the Serbs, the sound of that withdrawal song. And then obviously the Ottomans started, this created quite a mess in the lines of the Ottoman army. Some of them started withdrawing, and then there was practically quite a chaotic situation, which was used by the Serbian army. And he then, the same guy then played the code for attack of the Serbian army. According to the legend. So the Serbian army started progressing and practically going deep into the enemy lines that was in total chaos. So whether it was all true or not, it's difficult to say, but the point of my story was a bit different. Serbia is an expert country. The Serbian people are quite an expert in forgetting their heroes from the past periods, and there were actually numerous heroes. Some of them were luckily not forgotten, but there are so many heroes like this Ahmed Ademovic that were completely forgotten. Usually these people were then dying in poverty without earning anything for their glorious achievements. And as long as this is the case, there will be no future for this country. This is my deep opinion. Most of the thing that I'm doing now in social networks is practically directed towards changing this behavior, that the heroes from our past have to be honored by future generations and never to be forgotten, because this is the only way how you can build a trustworthy state and practically a nation that you will be, practically building a patriotism among your nation. Okay, that much for now. We'll talk to you soon again.